You'd be like, listen, is it good, because when it's your birthday, I'll really care,
Do you know what I mean?
I'll get you a really good gift.
We're the best birthday people. Yeah. We are.
And do it very nonchalant. No, it's cool. Do your thing, man.
Yeah.
Chill. But thank you for coming on the pod, man.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you so much for doing this. I really do.
I'm so honoured. This
so
probably
thank you for coming on, man.
My favourite, going to be my favourite podcast, I think.
I always feel like I see you and your family always online anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Always online.
Like, do you know what I mean? Whether I see like your husbands with the cars and stuff. Or,
I know.
Do you know what I mean? The content and stuff that you do online. So I feel like when you know someone but you ain't met them. Does that make sense?
I know what you mean.
But also,
that's what
there's a collectiveness of like, I know you because we're black, innit? I don't know why that makes sense, but it makes sense, you know what I mean? It's like...
But do you know what the worst thing is? I feel like you have existed on every single member of all of our lives. Like our phones, our TVs. So I feel like we all know you.
Oh,
like you're
just, thank you.
You're just our Mo, innit? You're everyone's Mo.
Oh, thank you, so. I didn't know he's from South, though. I didn't know that, I didn't know that. So, like, let me ask you something. You're from South.
Yes.
How did that shape your surroundings for the job that you have now?
I feel like it was just, for me, the culture. Like, I just only know Streatham to be part of my culture. So it was like seeing people who look like me. It was being able to get planting down the high street. That, for me, as a like young Jamaican girl, was everything. Yeah. Being able to like have the freedom to go to the park and everything just felt very close. Anyone who knows Streatham, like the high street, the longest high street in Europe, might I add.
It's got the most chicken shops on the strip.
It has the most chicken shops on the strip.
Yeah. Fun fact.
But those chicken shops are part of who I am. Do you know what I mean? I want to know I can go to Morley's after the rave, and I want to know that I can then go to the fun fair, and you've got Sainsbury's right there. Like everyone, God bless that Sainsbury's. Yeah, I used to work in that Sainsbury's. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, is it?
I did. I had a Christmas job there every year. I'd go and work there. So I feel like, Streatham is just who I am. And then having so many incredible people come from Streatham. Like I would go to Nuffield Gym and like Richard Black would have been there. Do you know what I mean? And talking to my dad. And then you'd find out like, Ray's from Croydon and Streatham. And I would always, me and Ray, she's just incredible obviously. But like, it's just a hybrid of culture and music and talent and realness. It's a very real area.
Do you ever find with South London, like there's just so many people that you meet and it's always the same, like, I didn't know he's from South.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I literally did a TikTok the other day where I was saying, I'm a young girl from South London. Everyone was like, you're from South?
Yeah.
What do we give off that doesn't make us look like we're from South though? I don't get it.
I know what you mean, but we also know that like South London, like, when you live there, you're like, ooh, like, but only we can say that from being from South.
Belong, man. Yeah.
Because like, for example, the reason why I asked that question, because there's two sides of Streatham that I know.
Yeah.
You've got the Streatham Common.
Yeah.
Which is only until probably in my late 20s, I was like, sorry, where is this? In Streatham, because I only know High Street Streatham.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people don't know that there's like two sides to an
pockets,
area, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I always find that like with South, we always have that like, depends that for like myself, I always play like football and stuff. So like when you see someone who's like, oh, like how did your area shape you? Because I feel like with East London, we know that, it's so synonymous with like, the grime scene, for example. So we're like, oh, I can see why you do music now. Do you know what I mean? Whereas South is like musicians and actors. I'm not saying that East doesn't. I don't want to create that. Don't, because they will do that on social. No,
they will. That one clip.
Yes, yeah. Because I feel like especially Southwest is so close to Streatham. Then you got Brixton Hill, Brixton. That area in itself is like...
It's its own world.
Yeah, it's like a fusion. Do you know what I mean?
It is. It's a beautiful thing though. I just feel like from Brixton all the way to Croydon, like, is my home.
Yeah.
I will... Like, I'm a Tea Heath girl. I literally reside... I used to, every summer, Thornton Heath was like the parks and, got cornfields. I get my patties from there. And it's just like, I just love South London so much.
Was you singing at a young age?
A very young age. I used to sing in my church. And I was always in the choir. I was always in plays in my school. I just loved it so much. I knew I wanted to be on the stage. I was very fresh. I was very, very extra when I was a little girl. My
Mm.
parents, when we'd go on holiday, I'd always be that little girl on the stage dancing. You know, the evening entertainment in your hotel, I'd be up there. Like, that was my thing. So yeah, I just loved it. I loved the attention when I was little and loved expressing myself.
So where you are now within like your life and your journey, where, you know, you're songwriting and you're doing it for other people, is there a part of you that feels like, maybe I should have kept this one for me?
Yeah.
Because do you know why I asked this? Because I'm someone that does stand up, right? And I have a friend of mine who helps me write. Now he's, you know, everyone has a different person that helps them write, for example. So a friend of mine called David Adjeo, he helps me write so he can look at the joke and say, do you know what? Maybe take that out or that bit works. And I'm not too sure about that.
Do you have ghostwriters in comedy as well?
It is, but it isn't, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So he won't write the thing for me to do because I know me and I'm like,
your style.
I'll just be like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's funny. I have to write the thing to be like, I find that funny.
Okay.
If someone else wrote it, then I'm like, I don't know.
Okay.
But he will definitely help me write in a way that he's like, oh, that's good. Or what you should do is have the callback for that thing and that brings it together. Like
structure.
Yeah. So he helps me structure and write in that sense. But I've always wanted to know as a musician where you, especially for where you are now in your career, where you've got these massive hits where you say, you know what, maybe we should have just took this one for me, you know? I've always wanted to know that. Especially when it blows. Because yes, there's like, you know, you've written tons of songs, but there must be the one where you're like,
there's loads.
I could have executed this a bit
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I feel like it wouldn't, you can think that, but that's not to say that that song would have been a hit with me or with the writer, because it's the artist. I think a big thing that I have to put respect on is the artist and what they bring.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are like, oh my God, the songwriters. And yes, songwriters are so important, don't get me wrong, but there's a magic in what that artist brings. Honestly, I've seen it time and time again. The thing that they do when they're on stage and
So have you been in the studio when it's happening? Like,
yeah.
And you're like, oh, I didn't really write it to be something like that.
To be something like that. There's been times that that's happened. To be fair, there have been times, you know, a lot of times I've recorded a demo, for example, and then the artist might be cutting it and people are like, oh, can you sing it? Maybe how Kamille sung it or whatever. And but equally, there's been times when I've sung something and the artist has just blown it out of the water and done a much better job. My demo sounds like trash now. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't see it like that. I also have a really strong belief that every song has its purpose and a reason. That's one thing I live by. So a lot of songwriters are pissed when songs they've done, you know, have gone to big artists and they couldn't keep it. But who's to say that song, if you didn't give it to that artist, didn't get you into another room or like another stage of your career has now happened because of that. So I just live by that mantra. I also know I'm blessed and I write more songs, which I have done. I can only speak on my experience. Like, I know this is a talent that was given to me by God. So I feel like more just flows out of me anyway. And I think when you hoard things like that, you can stop your blessings. That's just the way I look at it. So I feel like if something is happening and it's running away with itself, like the song's here and now, an artist has got it and I just go with the flow. I try not to get into that mindset because you can block your own truth and your own blessings sometimes when you do that.
Is there like a pleasure in creating a piece of work though and almost being like, I've got this and I'm just giving it away.
It's
Whatever
incredible.
happens.
It's amazing.
Because the only similarities I would say is through stand-up, when I record a special, I don't get to do that again. I can't do the material again. It's done and it's given to the world. I get to, yes, when I'm performing, I get to do as long as possible for as much as I want to. But the minute it's recorded and put out there,
that's it.
That date, I know all the dates where I'm like, yeah, I remember that date, it's done. I can't like dip back into it where I'm like, oh, let's just drop this one in and see it. Because people... Do
you like the way that feels though? Or do you wish sometimes you could like...
It's 50-50 because sometimes you're like, okay, I want the world to see this now. I've been doing this joke for 18 months. Do you know what I mean? You're like, I'm not sick and tired of it, but it needs to be seen. But then also there's other parts of you that you go, I used to really like doing that bit. That was the bit that I used to enjoy. Like if I start a set and I get to do that bit, that was the coolest bit. But I think the reason why I ask is because it's the giving up. It's the,
I know what you mean.
It's there now for the world.
I know what
and
you mean.
The only reason why I ask is because for someone who writes for other people and you know, sometimes you might think, I might write this for myself, but give it away.
Yeah.
Is there okay, that's it now. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
How does that
definitely.
feel?
I think for me, why it might be a bit easier for me is because I hear it every day on the radio, or like I see it
Okay.
performed all the time. And then artists obviously are constantly performing their repertoire. So like with you, that one show, that's it. Even though we might watch Netflix a million times, you're not feeling that.
Yeah,
You're kind
yeah.
of doing it. And I guess with me, I go into Sainsbury's and my song's on the radio and I get that validation or I get that experience again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't really have that as much, I guess. I think what I do sometimes have though is sadness if I release a song with someone and for whatever reason it hasn't gone the way we planned. Some songs just flop and no one can control that. It could be a time or an experience, or pop culture is very like, it's this like zeitgeist thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I wrote a song with David Guetta and BB Rexa one year. Nothing happened with this song. Like nothing. He just left the studio and was like, okay, bye, foncé. Off he goes, to Ibiza. And I never heard from him again.
Yeah.
And then literally a few years later, he played it at, the club and it went to #1 the following week. That literally happened with I'm Good. I'm good,
wow.
I'm feeling like, literally. So it's like things like that happen a lot in my industry where I'm just like, huh? Like what does that even, you can't control it. So I don't know. I feel like you have to go with the flow and just put my job is to put the art out. That's all my job is to do. I don't know how it could flop, it could do well. Who cares at this point? I just love having fun. I love being in the studio.
Yeah.
Like,
because your
love
big
it.
breakout hit was What About Us, right?
Yeah, that was the first. I walked out of my job as a songwriter and then I went into a studio and was hanging around in there like every day, just begging to be in there like, what's going on? What's going on? And just hanging around. And I came up with this idea and
Did
sung
they not
it.
let you into the studio then?
Well, this is when I hadn't had any hits or anything yet. My dad knew the owner of the studio and just helped me get there. And I just used to go there and hang around. I was literally like one of them little groovy gal on the sofa, like just hanging around. But I loved it. And I wrote the song, What About Us, with some incredible people. And it just got taken to a record label, taken to the girls, released #1. And that was when I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is so fun.
Yeah.
And it took me like 5 minutes to write that song. It didn't feel like hard work.
That's crazy though, 5 minutes.
I know.
That is a flex in it.
A lot of songs I write are really quick. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is masterfully written. I'm like, you lot, no. It took me about half an hour. It just comes like that though.
That is an incredible talent though.
But I could say to you, like, you're so fun. There's some people, it's so funny, yeah. I feel like you and Will Ferrell are probably two of the people that I can just look at and laugh.
You. Oh,
like,
I appreciate that.
That inherent...
That's big acclaim though. We're in different places in life, If only we had the same back balance.
No, because Mo, if I put on one of your videos, I'm going to laugh. There's not many people
so much. I appreciate that a lot.
Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
So it just comes through you. I don't feel like, I know you're saying there's work behind it, but I don't get the sense that like it's hard work for you. Because you're just a funny person.
Do you know what it is? It's weird because like when I'm around people and I'm being myself and I'm comfortable, I'm just being me. And and being me means me being funny, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not that, yes, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have off days. Definitely do. Do you know what I mean? But like my off days are not around making people feel bad, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So my off day would just be like, I don't know, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
So my off day is just like, bro, I just need to sleep right now, And we got this shoot that's going on later. I beg just a 30 minutes, just a 30 minutes. But it's not so much, that's not around the people that I'm with, if that makes sense. It's just more, I can't keep up to that level of, do you know what I mean? Because people are looking at me, especially if you're on set, do you know what I mean?
But do you get that as well? Like even in your friendship groups and stuff, that people was looking at you for the jokes?
I think in my friendship group though, because we're all quite funny.
Okay.
So we all have our moments.
Okay.
But the one thing I think I have over everyone else is that my comedy can diffuse situations and it can also be confrontational. That is also funny. If that makes sense.
It's like
so something can happen and I'm like, so right, boy, like, man's not going to pay the bill now. And everyone's laughing, but there's a truth in that. But everyone looks at me to say like, Only Mo could really say
I love that.
Because if it was someone else, it might be an argument or, oh, shut up, man.
Yeah.
So it helps in that scenario. Does that make sense?
Does it help in your relationship? If you're having an argument, can you like laugh your way out of it with your girlfriend?
No, I can't, because the minute I start laughing, she's vexed, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
she's like, why are you laughing? Yeah.
So I'm just like,
okay.
Cool. There has been times though, where I just wanted to bust up. But I said, come on, hold it together, man. Hold it. But it's got me out of situations of like, for example, like road rage, for example.
Yeah.
Like, there's times I've put the window down and I'm just like, bro, we can't crash our car. The economy's too, it's not happening right now. And then people just laugh. So I've used my humor to get out of tricky situations. And there's people that, oh, Mo, hey, what's going on, my brother? Yeah, hey, my brother might bad, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I'll be lying if I didn't say I had my down days. But writing a song in 5 minutes is, can I ask?
Yeah.
How does it start? Because
oh my gosh.
you know why, right? It's because I believe everyone, like a comedian, everyone thinks they can sing. Like, there's times where I'm in the shower and I'm like, ooh,
sound sick.
I have to record this, you know? This might be something.
Yeah.
So, like, how is it even writing? Because how do you start?
How does it start?
I've only ever heard one person talk about writing a song, and even then, I still didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know, it can be different every time, but typically, okay, so I'm in a studio with the artist and their record label said to me, okay, this artist needs a massive hit. We need a hit. There's a lot of pressure. So I'm in the studio. I have to usually be a fan of this artist to work with them or like what they're doing because I'm thinking like a fan.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, right, what do I want to hear from you next? Okay. So let's say, I don't know, I want to hear a big pop banger from you. So I'm thinking it needs to have tempo, it needs to have energy. I'm thinking, how would I like whine to it in the club, whatever it is, right?
So let's say I'm a record exec now. So I'm like, okay, listen, we need a hit. Like, honestly,
right now.
We done a great project.
Yeah.
And like, we really want to get like a Bad Bunny reggaeton.
This is literally happening.
Is this the thing that's happening right now? We want like a Bad Bunny reggaeton vibe. Yeah. But like the artist has got like this kind of, like, she's from the urban scene. You know, like, is that, can I say that?
Yeah.
You know, she's
black.
She's black. That's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So like, what would you bring to that sound? You know, we're looking like a and like I'm thinking of like a summer banger. You know, like I'm thinking of like I'm having a mojito and I'm like hearing this I'm in Mykonos, you know. And I'm hearing this song, you know, So what are you thinking of that? Are you know, what's your vibe? Do they do that and they look in your eyes? So what do you?
Yeah. 100% that happens. To be fair, we don't even, I think us writers don't actually even get that much detail. Usually record labels could be like, we just need a hit. We need, and you're like, okay, so what are you looking for? And they're like, just, you know, we need a smash. It's just like, that could be literally anything. But do you know what? I feel like when you get in the studio, for me, I'm on the chords, I'm on a piano, or I'm like making a beat, or a producer's there. It's like a big vibe. Everyone's doing their little thing.
So it's like something out of like a film a little bit.
It is. It's it's a magical experience.
Is it like Hustle and Flow?
Yes, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It is like that. It is. It's like, it was just... And someone will say something and then I always have to get on the mic because one thing I have is melody. Like, that's my strength. Lyrics take me a bit longer. I have to really sit and think about it. There's a lot of writers though who can just be like, they're like Shakespeare, like, and the cat and the hat and the bat said to the bat sat, and then like, I can't do that. So but I can do melody.
Oh wow.
Like, I can just come up with a melody initially, like straight away. And then sometimes I'm singing something. So let's say I'm singing, okay, let's go. I wanna, can you hear any words of what I'm saying?
I can hear it.
So then I'll be like, body. So I'm like, okay, body or party, or there's words that come out of the gibberish.
This is what I'm hearing in Mykonos.
Yes.
I'm feeling it, man. Great.
Exactly. Mykonos vibes. Then I'll record that. And then we all start writing to like my gibberish thing. And then it just starts to make a song. And then it just comes together It's so sick.
I always wanted to be in one of those rooms.
You have to come to the studio.
I swear to you.
Okay, listen, I'm going to set up a session. You should come.
You know what's mad, yeah? So many musicians would be like, hey, Mo, like, come studio, innit? But I'm always hesitant because I'm like, I would love to come and see the magic.
Yeah.
But the minute, and you got to remember, the people that invited me to studio, the mini rappers, innit?
Yeah.
So I know what's going to happen. Yeah, come studio. Hey, Mo, you're funny, innit? Like, jump on the mic, do some couple of cans on the mic, innit?
Yeah,
and I'm like, nah, I don't know if I want to do that, you know?
And then Barbados.
Listen, and when you're there with the drillers, then you be like, hey, you got to do some jokes. You can't be here for free.
That though. I feel like you can do this stuff like that Will Ferrell did.
Possibly, but also it's like, if the song don't bang,
we should sample you.
Yeah.
We should just
and people used to sample
you.
my voice. When I used to do like the videos and stuff,
yeah,
like people would sample my voice, but you want it to, you don't want it to get, you don't want to be in the cloud of, do you know what I mean?
You're just there for the vibes then, because it's actually really important to have people in the room who give you a good energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It can get very serious in the studio. I hate that. That's when I make up a fake call or something, like, I gotta go. I do that sometimes. I just
What's
be
the
like,
longest you've been in the studio for?
oh my God, a whole 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah, in LA. You have like a break, you might come out and leave, but people don't play sometimes. I don't really do that anymore because I just feel like ever since I've become a parent, I just haven't got time for those kind of sessions.
Value where you put your time so much, innit?
And I'm more laser focused now because I haven't got time. You see, like now, you've got your baby at home. So this is getting wrapped up at a certain. You haven't got time.
Yeah.
So now you're even more focused with the time you have. I feel like being a parent really changes your whole game and perspective. So now I'm just like, this song's getting done in an hour.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be better than when I was taking a whole day because now I'm like,
Speaking of songs, Little Mix said, and I don't want to quote them, but they literally said you were pretty much the fifth member.
I know.
What does that relationship mean to you? Because, like, I don't think we've seen a female like group like that in years.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like
the
way that they captivated people's attention. I feel like we grew with them as well, of seeing them on a television show to now, you know, they're parents now. Do you know what I mean? They've got their solo careers and, you know, their husbands and their children and stuff. How does it feel like for them saying that you're like the fifth member in some ways? I just
stalked them, essentially. I was like obsessed with them from the first minute I met them. And this is very early on in my career. Like I was also, you know, we're similar ages. We're all kind of coming through the industry at the same time. I had just been working on the X Factor. So I used to work on the X Factor a long time ago, actually. It's when I first met Simon Cowell, and I was kind of there as like a coach, essentially, and learning about stuff. And I remember they just came out the show and I was just obsessed with them. And I just knew we connected. The minute I met them, one day I had to go meet them. I was so nervous. I went into the room and they were all in there and they were like, come on. And it's just like, and we hadn't even met yet. So it was just that energy. And I think I got to voice a lot of my, I guess, pain through songs we wrote, like breakup songs and empowerment songs for females. And like, shout out to my ex, like, was for all of our exes. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't just because one girl had the experience. And that's how I am in real life with my friends. If someone has done something to you, I will fuck them up. I'm that bitch. Like, don't play with me. I'm outside the house with you.
What star sign are you?
Cancer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What star sign are you?
I'm a Pisces.
Oh, my sister's a Pisces. See, water signs. Okay, gang.
Very sensitive, but very creative. We'll draw you a good picture.
We're so creative. But we are sensitive. And do you know what? I will say, sensitivity isn't a weakness. Because a lot of the time I feel like people brand it like, oh, why are you being so sensitive? Like, why are you being that? I'm like, it's actually a beautiful thing to be an empath and to like have emotion. I struggle with people who don't have like that level of awareness. I can't deal with that.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't connect with that. That does bug me sometimes. People be like, oh, you're so sensitive. And I'm like, yeah, so I love that about me.
You'd be like, listen, it's good, you know, because when it's your birthday, I'll really care, you know? I mean? I'll get you a really good gift.
We're the best birthday people. We are.
I do it very nonchalant. No. It's cool. Do your thing, man. Like, chill.
Exactly.
But if you don't say thank you, it's a big deal.
Oh my God, I hate people that say thank you.
The gratitude is huge for me.
I feel like I'm already like training my children to have the manners in our house. The level's so high.
Yeah.
And it's every time you have to repeat it with them. Every little thing I give to my son TJ, what do you say? thank you.
Let me ask you something. When you are driving and you get to a zebra crossing, if people don't say thank you, does that...
I hate that so much. Yeah, but that happens a lot though.
Yeah, that happens bare.
People are really rude on the street.
Yeah.
People are rude on
that one is the one that stresses me.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Especially when you've been waiting. If you know you dip in, so you wait till they can come past and you're looking at them like, you say thank you.
But you know, it's like, I could have run you over, you know?
It's
I could
really
have just run you over. And the fact you didn't thank me for that.
I feel like people do it though. It's an ego thing. It really is. I've noticed that because there's a lot of drivers who do that just to prove a point and make you feel a bit shit. I've clocked it. So,
but it also, we know that when you drive a nice car, it's also like a thing as well. So if you drive a nice car, people go,
you know,
yeah. That's what it is.
Oh, I feel like, but people shouldn't be jealous.
But that's, you know what, it's a London thing though, isn't it? It's like, I get it because when you live in London, you're like, all right, I get it, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's going through it and stuff. But it's like, it reminds me of, London is very much like New York.
Yes.
Where everyone's like, man, fuck that guy, man. What's going on, my brother? You all right? Hey, what up, my man? You good? Hey, what's up, man? Much love. And you're like, I know you was just chatting shit a minute.
Do you know what bugs me? Let me tell you what bugs me about this, right? I feel like what I've achieved and what my husband Tommy has achieved, I keep saying this yet, it's nothing that no one else can't do. That's what bugs me the most. That you think you can't also have this or do this. It actually really irritates me that people can't see how much they can have in their life.
Yeah.
Of course, yes, it's hard work and it's, you know, it's so tiring and it's stressful and it's so much sacrifice. But I spend so much of my time encouraging people online to do more than we haven't even done anything. As far as I'm concerned, like my brain is already, it's out here in the sky from what I want for my life. So sometimes when I see jealousy or stuff like that, I just want to like twist it and just twist their mindset a bit because you can have more than this though.
Do you find you guys get a lot of that though? With like, being like very open about your lives as well. Do you know what I mean? Because you're really both successful in different paths. But do you know what I mean? That when you put things online, you're just like, I'm on holiday or well, you know, whatever it is, you get evil eyes. Do you know what I mean?
You do get a lot of evil eye. But do you know what I would say is I think what I hear from people is they can read our personality and they can see that we're not boastful. We just really enjoy what we're doing. Like, for example, Tommy is honestly obsessed with cars. I think even if he didn't own the cars, he would be wanting to do that content.
Yeah.
He's just obsessed. I'm obsessed with what I do. And we love showing people and inspiring people. And we love helping people. Like, the amount of DMs I get, I answer every single one. I spend more of my time doing DMs than even posting, probably.
Really?
Oh my God. Just because I want to help people have a chance and I want to help people find their way. I didn't really have that help when I started. So I feel like if I can be here to help and inspire, that's what I'm going to do. Like recently I was awarded Inspiration Award at the MPG Awards, which is a crazy accolade to have. And even getting an Ivor Novello for like Outstanding Song Collection. And when I produce records and I see my name on a song, it will have Kamille writer, Kamille producer. Like that for me is why I do this, to inspire. If you get a car out of it, great. I'm only just learning that cars are more profitable and much more of a better financial option than buying a house. Tommy's taught me that. I didn't know that before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's just about encouraging. Like, I don't mind it. Of course, you're going to get a few people that are like, but you know what? We're two young Black people from an area that who would have thought we would have done this? And if I can inspire 80% of people and have 20 people jealous, then I've done a good job. I don't really give a shit about those people because I want other young people to see that it's so possible. So that's why I just push forward with it. Couldn't give a shit.
I guess as well is because a lot of people don't show the behind the scenes enough as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think we're quite fortunate to be a generation that we had social media, but it wasn't used for that.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? It was just like, I'll put a picture up on Instagram of my food and how I look. I think now the newer generation are quite fortunate. They can do a vlog. Streaming, you know, you can stream all the time and show that, this is when they done that and when that happened with this.
Exactly.
And whereas I think we are the social media generation where it was like DIY. Do you know what I mean? You look at the late Jamal Edwards that would get a camera. And that's what everyone used to say, you know, get a camera, you go out there, you can be successful. Do you know what I mean? Same like get a microphone, you can write some songs. Do you know what I mean? So I think we are definitely that kind of DIY generation. Do you know what I mean? Speaking of DIY generation, you compared stepping out as a solo artist to being an astronaut.
What did I say?
Please,
Where
can you
did I
explain
say that?
for the listeners?
Where have you found this quote? I mean, I think maybe what I was trying
I'm
to
really
say.
impressed with that segue. I can't
That
lie.
was him too. I was even thinking, where are you going with that?
Speaking of DIY.
No, you're sick of this presenting things too, you know, you're very good. Do you know what? I feel like what I probably was trying to say is it does feel like you're stepping out into like an abyss. I feel like I don't know where the hell I'm going with this artist stuff. And I hate the fact that usually as an artist, you have to have everything so perfect rollout, perfect look, perfect stylist, perfect music. And a lot of the time, most artists, especially now, number one, you don't have budget to do all that stuff. And number two, you actually don't, you're figuring out every day as you go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like for me, my artist journey has been really difficult. It's not been easy. I'm just kind of like going with the flow, questioning myself every single day. I cry a lot about my artist project because it's something that I wanted to do from the beginning. I started out wanting to be an artist, but I just came through the writing route and didn't get a chance to do it for myself. So I don't know. It does feel like I'm a bit of an astronaut because I have no idea, and I feel like I'm constantly being pulled into like different orbits sometimes. And even now, any artist will tell you they're doing stuff for an algorithm or they're doing stuff because they want this to go viral. And I think we've all kind of lost a bit of who we actually are. It's very hard to maintain who you are as an artist now. Probably harder than ever because you're just taught, you know, any record label, if you sign to them, will be like, okay, you need to go make content, you need to go viral. That's the first thing they want you to do.
Yeah.
And how the hell do you know how to go viral? No one knows how to go viral.
Because
Really,
it's so
truly.
accidental as well. You can't create it.
You can't.
And you can't, it's that thing of once you go viral, I think the biggest curse is going viral and it happening overnight because then you're like, I don't know what worked. Exactly. It was this one and I can't now replicate it because it's the viral thing. Does that make sense?
And the more you replicate it, the worse it is for you.
Because then everyone's like, all right, you're overdoing it now. Yeah. You're like, oh, you're overdoing it now. 100%. You're like, okay.
It's so hard.
Yeah, I go into schools and, you know, they always ask me, you know, some of the younger kids will be like, oh, the first thing they always say is that, can you follow me back on Instagram? And I'm like, it's crazy because I'm like, nah.
You say no? Like,
yeah. Nah, I can't, you know?
No. God, you're so right.
I went to one school and you know what's really funny, yeah? I went to one school recently and it was great. You know, I'm talking about dyslexia and stuff. And, you know, doing this talk. And I'm looking at these kids and they're like, we don't know you, you know? I could just see in their eyes, like, they were like, big man, we don't know who you are, you know? And then afterwards, it was so funny. They was like, one of them said, can I ask, how many followers do you have? So I'm like, just close to like 1 million. It's like, then, and they go, raw,
that's what means a lot to them, yeah.
And they're doing questions. And then some of the questions were like, like what sacrifices you have to make? And I was like, all right, cool. We got I'm like, this is a good student. She's got her head on her shoulders. I said, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. I did it again. They were like, brother, we don't care, you know. we don't care about what you're saying. And someone else said, who have you met? Who's the most famous people you met, right? So I'm trying to give them some inspirational names. I said, you know, I met King Charles, you know. But the kids were like, who? Who's that? I was sitting there just like,
oh my God.
And then I pulled out a name and I was like, Mo, these are young kids. They don't. I said, I met, I can't remember his name now. He's from Queen. I said, I met Brian May from Queen. Oh my God. You thought of what? I basically said to them, I met William Shakespeare. And these kids looked at me like, who is that man? And then one of them said, is there any like, do you know Chunks? I said, yeah, the whole, what?
That's all they wanted. That's all they wanted.
Up, some of them said, can I have an autograph? I said, yeah. And he said, who else have you met? Listen, I started lying, you know. I was like, yeah. Started lying. I said, yeah, I met Aisha Speed.
Yeah.
Oh my, he met Aisha Speed. He met Aisha Speed. I said, yeah, I got KSI. Whoa! I said, nah, man.
To be fair though, you've got to kind of make it bespoke for your crowds, innit?
You got to give them what they want, man. Brian May.
Different lives, man. Honestly, that's so funny though because I feel like young people today, I sound like some elderly person when I'm saying this, but they are very like, they're focused on what they want and what they see.
massively.
They don't give a hoot about anything else. And to be fair, I quite like it because it's very real and they're just in their own bubble. And I remember when I was in a bubble like that and my parents could tell me nothing. Do you know what I mean? So I think it just means that we've crossed over to the other side.
Yeah, that was my realization. I'm like, I think I'm old now. Like, because it seemed like the teachers were more interested
in what you were
the
saying.
kids were like, bro, we're just trying to get
we don't care.
10 minutes off of our learning time right now. Do you know what I mean? Before we go to lunch.
That's
but we digress. So K1 and K2, they're very personal records for you.
Yes.
How does it feel in a sense to be making records and, you know, you're putting your own story out there? Because you said, you know, you spoke about, you know, like your family and yourself and you've written for other people and stuff. So how is it where you are now with those kind of records?
Oh, it's horrible.
Why?
Because for me now, I feel like I'm there's just so much pressure on me. Do you know what I mean? I honestly, if I could capture like the studio bit of making the record and just have that be the end of it, I would be such a happy artist. Like, I don't know, okay, I remember being in the studio and I was producing a record with Nile Rodgers and I'm at Abbey Road, right? I'm the producer, me, and Nile Rodgers is playing the guitar and I'm recording him, like, and it's just me and him.
Oh man.
And that for me is like heaven. If that could be it, I'd just be so happy as an artist. But the hardest for me bit now is having to like every day promote and every day think of content and every day go out and every day see other people doing all this stuff and not compare yourself. And I hate that so much. I find it so like soul destroying. I find it really hard for my mental. It takes up so much of my time. Like this job is very time consuming.
Yeah, massively.
So I'm just being real when I say, yeah, I think it's horrible, that part. I hate it. I love the bit of just making the song and creating stuff. And if I could just release it and just bounce, that would be my ideal.
Yeah.
But you have to really work at all the other stuff. In fact, I think that bit's probably more important now than even making the song. I think all the other stuff that comes with it, which is just, ugh.
Does it put into
so long?
Does it put into perspective of like when you make a song now and, you know, as opposed to writing it and you're like, well, I've written a song and I've done my bit and you perform it and you do the other stuff. Whereas now you know, it's like
the work.
Yeah. How does that?
I respect the artist so much.
But is there almost like something that's kind of like bittersweet in some ways that what's at the end of the tunnel? Does that make sense?
Oh my gosh, definitely. And also I have this horrible kind of thing of seeing the success, because to me in my mind registers musical success as like something that's quite easy. So imagine you've had 10 years of like bop number one.
Yeah.
And now it's the complete opposite for me. In fact, it's probably like twice as hard now. And I can't quite sometimes compute why it's taken so long or why this is much more difficult, because I'm only used to having success. I've been very blessed in that way to have that luxury of that. So it's just, I'm in a really weird place with it. And I actually think just even talking to you about this is so like healthy and good for me to be able to say it, because I hate this fake shit and I hate like the way a lot of us artists feel like you have to act like everything's great and oh yeah, my record's coming out this week and it's perfect, and it's just not what it is. We all know it's just hard. So yeah, in answer to your question, I have to be honest, it's just shit. That bit of it is really hard.
Do you know what's really beneficial though for you as an artist? I think you have a level of transparency that you can say that, whereas because you can back it up in the sense of well I've got the credentials and I've won the awards and I've seen the outcome, so I can say that. So there must feel like a level of like ease where you're like, okay, I'm putting myself out there, but I know
that's true.
People know my catalog, if that makes sense.
That's true.
But also, I guess there's also another pressure on top of that, because people are like, well, okay, we've seen what you've done for everyone else.
That's
now
true.
we want to
Okay,
see
I
it
hear
for you.
you.
Do you know what I mean?
I hear that. You're right. And I hope that it does help when I'm transparent. I just think sometimes the hardest thing for me is that like I feel like, and it's funny, we all probably feel this, you know, you feel like you post something and you think everyone's watching.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the weirdest, most horrible feeling sometimes?
Yeah.
You sit there looking at your post, you scroll onto it hours later, and everyone, I don't care who you are, Drake probably has just done that with Iceman.
What, 5 comments?
Do you know what I mean?
Hey, take that down.
We all do it. And I'm like, I just wish that bit wasn't there. I really wish that all the metrics on social media were gone, because I think then it would be such a healthier place. Like I know you can turn off your lights and your things, but if it just didn't exist and we were just posting, it's just, that part of it I find really hard.
I think it's interesting with like your journey, because when you look at like where you started from, in a sense of, like, let's say making songs for the Saturdays and working on things like X Factor, social media wasn't at the forefront of the outcome. And I think it is the outcome for everything. You put the film out, we need a big social push, we need the actors, collaborating on posts. Do you know what I mean? It's like 10 o'clock, guys. Yeah. Make sure you collab. And I think it's so much, do you know what I mean? It's even, look, for someone like myself who does a pod, and, we get guests on, and I'm like, like when the post comes out, if you want to collab with it, it's up to you. Because it's like, I'm not annoyed if you don't. It's fine, but this is your work, innit? So if you want people to see it, it's fine, it's okay. And I'll be honest, sometimes I haven't collabed either. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes I'm like,
it's such a part though if you don't collab and you see the thing.
So my thing is, sometimes I will genuinely not see it, and I'm like,
don't lie,
no, I swear to you. Sometimes it's been like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, right, boy, I forgot about this one, So if I do it now, I feel like...
You can't do it now.
I feel like, you parred it and now you tried to bring it back. So, there are times.
In that moment, do you just do a little comment then underneath that like you saw it, or do you not even comment on it?
No, I will like it, and I do comment, and I collab with every post.
Do you know what? Can I just say something? Let's just be real about collab posts, yeah? Sometimes I think in that moment, you just might not want that collab thing on your page.
But there are times that, like, I think before, I used to really, like, I'm trying to put out this video at this time. And what I've learned now is just post. It does not matter.
True.
Like, I think that's the one thing I've learned as I've got older, where there used to be this like, aesthetically, I need my
that moment's gone. I hear you.
Whereas what I find out is, when I'm looking at, and I look into metrics, well, I'm like, boy, like what, 15% of my audience don't see anything. Like, I got to do these collab posts, So I think it's just relative, and I think it's one of those things now. It always feels like everyone's trying to compete with the algorithm, because I've got my own friends asking like, hey, bro, like, I didn't see you post anything. And I'm like, bro,
I posted.
You're my friend and you didn't see it.
That's so crazy.
But I do think though now it's more, I guess it's like if it is a project or you're on a press run, it's just doing as much as everything.
Yeah.
Because if I try to just be like, I'm just going to post on mine, I'm like, I'll do the podcast, I'll do the interview, and you never know where it's going to go. Whether it's someone that's just like, hey man, like I was reading about this in the paper, and that's how I checked it out. And you're like, oh, rah. So I didn't think anyone would, that little piece there in the paper, you're like, who's reading that?
Yeah.
I think that's why I started to realize the more that I'd done what I'd done, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
That's incredible.
How those small things change.
That's a good
attitude
what I mean? To have.
So in terms of like your end, right, where, you're getting achievements, you got outstanding song collection on at the Ivor Novellos.
Which is mad. Can I speak about that for a minute?
Come on, let's speak about this, man.
We're going to talk about this award, yeah.
This is absolutely huge,
Thank you.
It's not a joke. Like, because I know about this award. This is a big deal.
It is a big deal. And I appreciate you saying that. And I feel like I'm a very humble person. I don't like speaking much about or tooting my own horn, even though a lot of my family be like, Kamille, you need to show the people. But I'm like, that Ivor Novello, to get like outstanding song collection, that's like the titan of awards as a songwriter, right? It's like Elton John level and like Sting and stuff. Me, I'm in that group of people. So I feel like of all the things, like, yes, I've had Grammys and Brits, which is fantastic, and I'm so grateful. There's something about that award, like, there's certain people I work with, like, okay, Steve Mack, who is someone who, you might not know his name, but has written and produced probably every single hit that's come out of this country. I'm not even joking. He's like the ledge, yeah? Steve Mack.
I think I know that name.
Okay.
I think I've heard
Shape
him.
of You, Ed Sheeran.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
And Endless Hits.
Yeah,
you go
yeah,
into
yeah.
his studio,
Yeah.
he has Ivors lined up on his bookcases like wallpaper. He has, you know the number one statues that you get, they're like little blocks of, it's like a little block of metal, a number one statue you get in this country. I've got 7 of them. I thought I was flexing, okay? He has them on a wall this size. They're lined up.
One by one.
There's millions of them.
Woo.
And whenever I go to his studio, I'm like, okay. okay. Like, yeah.
It's the levels.
It's a level, do you know what I mean? And I just feel like, for me, I have so much further to go, but he has so many Ivors that it doesn't even make sense. I have one Ivor and I love my Ivor, but I want more of them now as well. And I sat there, the Ivors was just the other day, and Elton John came out and Rosalia came out, Harry Styles came out. And I was so proud of myself to know that I'm in that category of people who have won an Ivor, especially as I keep saying, like, I'm a black girl, I'm from Streatham, I went to school in Croydon. Like, these are just things that I didn't put together.
Yeah.
Even when Ray won her Ivor, I presented Ray with her Ivor. I think it was like a couple of years ago, maybe. And we were just talking, because we've obviously been friends for a long time, and we were just talking about, like, how has life happened this way? Like, how have we done this? But the one thing I see is it's just hard work. I can't tell you enough how many sessions I've hustled my way into. I do not feel embarrassment. I think that's the key. Like, you have to attack life with no embarrassment, because that is what's going to stop you from doing anything. Like, I will slide into people's DMs and ask them, can I come to a session with you? Can I do this thing with you? A lot of time, even now, I get air. I don't care. I don't care. You didn't see it then, innit? That's fine with me. I'll ask you again tomorrow. And I'll ask you again the next week. Even the other day, I saw K Tempest at the Ivors, who I'm obsessed with. I feel like he's like just such an incredible artist. I went straight out to him. I said, love to work with you. The other day, I saw Jammer sitting there. I was like, Jammer, you're incredible. Like, I'll just go up to you.
The Merkle man himself.
I'll just go up to you, because I don't have embarrassment like that. You have to seize opportunities, I feel like.
And I guess it's like, when you're in the room, it's like, well, I can stand there and be bougie, or I can either just stand there and network and enjoy the craft that I do. And it's you know, there's some of the moments that help pay the bills,
Oh
you know.
my gosh,
you going up to someone or someone. And what I've always realized as well, when it comes to networking, is the amount of people that sometimes want to speak to you.
Oh my god.
But because they're in the room, everyone's a bit shy and they don't know. And, you know, and sometimes, you know, people say, oh, there's a time and place. But you're like, well, this is the time. This is the place. We're all musicians. Hey, what's up, man? Cool, let's connect. Yeah, man, well, it might just be as a follow on Instagram. Yeah, man, well, listen, get my Instagram, get my number. Or if you're here, and people don't realize how far, that's how it works.
It's literally how it
I'd
works.
love to tell you that managers in the background are making it happen.
I feel like it's less and less the managers now, if I'm honest.
It's the connection of, hey, what's up? Yeah, cool. Well, listen, when you come to London,
it really is.
Let's go out for a meal or something, man. All right, cool. Well, listen, I got your number.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'll shout you. That is literally how it happens. And it sounds bizarre, because in your head you're like, no way. It's like, nah.
But do you see why it's so important then for us to help people come through? Because how are they meant to have that? That's why I do feel why people are like, oh my God, it's so hard to get into the industry. Because you're right, it is just like all those degrees of separation getting smaller when you're working your way up. It's so hard. But yeah, I feel like anyone can do it. Anyone can have it. You just have to have that mentality about you.
It's the tunnel vision, isn't it?
It's the tunnel vision.
I always use the horse with the blinkers on.
Yes, so do
it's
I.
Like, if that horse has the blinkers on, it will just 100%. Go there.
And I use the analogy of, like, Michael Jackson wasn't watching what Stevie Wonder was doing. He wasn't. Not only did he not have Instagram to go on, but like Prince made a point of not checking Michael's shit. They were just doing their own thing. You're so right. Yeah.
How do you start to look at, like, where you are now, but where you want to get to within the next, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 years?
I want everything.
Because you've got some amazing achievements and you've done some incredible things, and you've come from a place which, look, I'm not saying that, you know, because the whole, no one ever makes it out there. Like, we do. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's not do that.
Yeah.
We do, but we also know that, like, sometimes it can be, the odds are stacked up against us, mainly because it's like, you know what? I don't see a lot of people in this space. You know, if you go to you go into these events and you're looking around, and the first time even I went, I was like, rather, man, them ain't really here, you know? Like, I'm there, but I'm like, they're not really here, man. And I think that for me was the realization of the job I do and feeling like, oh no, like my friends are here. But when you go to the event, they're like, no, it's you plus one guest. And you're like, okay, I really don't see people who look like me and sound like me and are from the same place as me. And that's when I think the realization is like, oh, okay, there's a bit more work to do here because I'm the person that everyone's looking at for. So what do we do? Diversity. You're in. You're like, no, this ain't. I'm not the one, bro. I'm not the one, bro. Stop, everyone! Stop what you're doing. You think they solved it by having me here? You having a laugh, bro.
But the thing is, do you know what my mum always said? Because my mum is incredible. She worked so hard. And she has an MBE, okay, for business. She was incredible at her job. Mumsy. Shout out, Mumsy. And she always would say to me, Kamille, as a black girl, you're going to face a lot of positive discrimination and negative, but positive also, and use it for all it's worth and carve that space because it does make me laugh. Sometimes, yes, a lot of people of colour will know this very well that you are chosen because of your skin colour and they're trying to fulfil a quota. Cool. If we're going to fulfill that quota, then I'm going to do this so well. I'm going to shit on everyone then. How about that? Because that's the only choice we have a lot of the time. So I don't even get mad when I see that. Tommy and I have that a lot. Like sometimes Tommy and I go to like, especially, oh my gosh, in the car world. Car world is mad, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. The car world is it's a different universe though.
It's
so I can't
imagine. Like there's just no diversity and little to no diversity. Even look at like Formula One. It's so hard, like not seeing anyone. When I go to events with Tommy's typically probably the only black person there a lot of the time. So I feel like if that's the case, cool. We're gonna show up. We're gonna keep going.
I know he will turn up as well on the maddest whip, but they won't know that's his whip.
They do now. They do now.
But like, you know, like they'll be like, "Oh, you're right. Okay, we working with, man."
Yeah.
This mad thing still.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I still 100%.
Nigerian Prince or something. How you got one of these? I can't get one of these.
Do you know, can I tell you a story? The other day, right? Because Tommy and I, people don't realise when it comes to the cars, yeah, it's definitely a partnership with me and Tommy. We've done this, we've just been very strategic. We've pulled our money together. Some points we've done it when we were like, that was a lot of money. We've made lots of losses on cars, okay? Yeah. But we're finally in a spot now, I think, where he's so smart and he's like kind of very good at foretelling trends and stuff. So we're in a good spot. That's not to say it can still go like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're now noticing we're being invited to different things and into different like rooms. And we went
Goodwood Festival of Speed.
I mean, these kind of things.
I know what's going on. I know what's going on.
But like we went to a dealership the other day. We were buying a car and shout out Sammy from Ferrari. He took us into this like secret room where all these crazy wealthy people, they store cars. I didn't even know this was a thing. It's huge, right? I don't want to get too much, I'm not sure I'm allowed to be talking about this, but in this room was like almost £1 billion worth of cars. I'm not even joking with you. Ferrari. Where people, you could go in there and look at a Ferrari and it would be like, that's a low spec. That's nothing. And I'm like, this Ferrari looks incredible. This Ferrari is nothing worth that Ferrari is worth like 10. It's that level of cars. And they're just sitting there. No one, the owners don't even touch them.
Oh, right.
But they don't drive them. It's just asset cars that just sit there. And I'm telling you, the space, it was like the space of a football pitch. It was huge. I'm probably exaggerating a bit, but I was surrounded by all these cars.
Yeah.
And I'm walking through this room and I'm like, oh my God, is this what people are doing out here?
It's a different level of the level.
Like Jamiroquai, who we've bought one of his cars, which is an incredible achievement because I'm a massive fan of him. But also he signed the back of the boot. For me, that car's never moving from my house. Yeah. I'm just in awe. come to find out, Jamiroquai has about 40, 50, 60 supercars like this. Just quietly chilling, appreciating. So it's just like this world that I feel like when you ask me like, where do I see myself? There's so much I want to achieve. I want to get into different businesses. Like I'm starting a children's brand with Tommy, which we're so excited about. I would love to tell you more about this. But like, there's music, it's everything. I just want to do so much with my life. But I definitely, as a Black woman, want to be in spaces where I don't see any of myself. Just like what you said, I can't stand it when I'm the only one. But if I'm gonna be the only one, I'm gonna do it well. That's how I see it.
Well, you got to think like there's probably a young Black girl right now who's on, you know what I mean, Streatham High Street, who likes
Like
music, do you know what I mean, going to the chicken shop.
Going to chicken shop.
And is listening to your story, but also realizing what is out there for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes to the world of like, you're not just a singular, you don't just sing. Do you know what I mean? You sing, but you create music. You've won awards. You've got hits to back them up. But you also have in the background of your passion projects as well. Do you know what I mean? And you're working alongside your husband, where you're able to say like, "Wow, we're going to buy Jamiroquai's car." Do you know what I mean? That's just a different flex in itself. Do you know what I mean? There's one thing buying a Ferrari, but I'll be like, we're going to buy the Jamiroquai's one. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's definitely like, you know, like when people, you know, if you've been harvesting long enough and, you know, you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And you guys have done that for years, do you know what I mean? But people will only ever see the fruits, do you know what I mean, on the tree, and they'll be like, cool, they only got that because it's summertime harvest, do you know what I mean?
Where
you're like,
see all the losses.
No one sees the losses, no one sees the crying, no one sees the stress.
They don't see it.
The letters, boy, like, hey man, hey, the rent's due, you know? Hey, whoa.
People don't see that. The amount of time Tommy and I have juggled on that level.
Yeah, man.
Are we going to be able to pay our mortgage? That happened a couple of times. We were like, shit.
But then, you know, also at the same time, you're just like, please, that's just
it works out.
You know, when it becomes it's not a champagne problem, but you're like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it can be fixed.
100%. No,
like
always.
Do you know
always.
what I mean?
100%. Money really does come and go. And I feel like you can only see that when you're in a position of, if you've seen it come and you've seen it go, you start to just like have that attachment starts to fade for you. And now for me, it's just about trying to keep it consistent, but doing something that I love.
Yeah.
Do you know what else I would say as well? I was just thinking when we were talking earlier, right? You see now, like, there's so much opportunity for everyone to just, okay, you can go online, like you said, and you can vlog or you can do this or whatever. I feel like now more than ever then, it's really important to like, have a point of difference. A real point, like, okay, when you came through, I remember being so fascinated with what you did because you just had this like fearlessness about your comedy. Like you weren't like, okay, the skits you were doing, even like putting on a wigs and just doing your thing, it was just against the grain.
Oh, thank you.
And it was you were fearless with it. And that's why it was so funny because you just didn't take yourself seriously. Like a lot of your friends or other people in your demographic might have taken themselves really seriously and not being able to have that fun with it.
And I was messing around.
Exactly.
I was buying wigs.
But that's what we love.
Crazily.
And that was your point. For me, your point of difference was your fearlessness. I feel like now, say for example, I was a young girl and I'm trying to be an influencer. I feel like a lot of people aren't trying to find a different way of doing it. I just see like, I see there's so many influencers. How are you going to separate yourself and make yourself step through that? That's how you have to do it.
But it's kind of, it lays testament to what you've done in it, where you say like, I'm going to go and talk to the person. I'm going to go and DM them because I'm not afraid of embarrassment. And it goes to what you were saying when I was joking around in my house and I'm like, I got this character, but what would really make it funny is a stupid wig of a guy who works in Zara and I'll, put a blazer on and maybe this might be funny, maybe it's not, but I'm not really embarrassed because I've gone on stage and done stand-up and someone say, you're not funny. Like, and you're like, yeah? Oh cool, well, you can suck your mum. And that gets the biggest laugh ever. So like, it's what you're saying about like that fearlessness of embarrassment. You have to just put it to the side. Do you know what I mean? Man. Like, I probably get embarrassed about things I shouldn't really get embarrassed about. When I first started driving and I had to parallel park with cars behind me. That is different level. Now I'm embarrassed because I'm like, everyone's looking at me like, go on, then park it. You're like, I'm stressed, man. Like, the embarrassment that comes for me is going in the lift and getting out of the wrong floor. And now I've got to pretend, it's not ground. Okay, let me go back in.
There's nothing worse than that,
like,
You step out, you're like...
Like, the life embarrassment now is those things. Do you know what I mean? So all those other things, they're going to come and they're going to go. But like going to an event, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you, man. Love your stuff, man. Hey, listen, I'd love to, if you've got shows, I'd love to jump on if possible. Like, we should work together. You're like, cool, they're either going to say yes or no.
Well, they're not, exactly.
But I think that embarrassment is, you need that. You need to put that to the side. If you're going to go to a network event and see your idol, you're like, this is either going to be great.
That's so true.
Or it's going to be terrible, but it might be a fun, terrible story to tell everyone else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Hey, I met this person. What was he like? He was a rat arsehole, Swear. Yeah,
that's the story in itself.
Action.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's so true.
But,
and even when we post, if it doesn't go anywhere, then no one saw it.
No, someone sees it. someone sees it.
I feel like no one saw it.
Because I would see it. You're like, right, man.
I like.
It's it back, Might want to archive that, bro.
But I don't want to keep archive. That's the thing. I hate that we have to live that way. I just want to post and not to worry. Like, hate that side of it so
It's
much.
been such a pleasure to have you on the pod, honestly, man.
Thank you.
It really, really has,
I've
man.
loved it.
So thank you so much for coming on. And this has been your beginning, middle, and end. Woo! So thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you, man. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. Now, a lot goes into making each episode. I know you hear my voice, but there's a team behind the scenes who help make it. And if you did enjoy it, I'd really, really appreciate if you could show the love to them by giving us 5 stars. And if you also have the time, please leave us a review. It's always appreciated, and we love reading the comments. And of course, we want to keep making it better. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. Peace.